I was doing a video where I was yapping about me letting go of certain people because I realized that in my pursuit to study or to learn more about leftism and to learn more about feminism and black radical women and how to be a better mother, people that I thought were in the same lane as me were not. Were not. They had very different ideas on how to treat children, and then they had very different ideas on how to also kind of treat me when I was giving them these ideals. And I want to do it fast because today's laundry day, and I want to go get my laundry done. Before it gets like super super hot. It's gonna be hot either way. I don't know. Either way, I want to get there, right? One of the things that you learn about when you study feminism a little bit more, right? Feminism is not just the radical ideas that women should be treated fairly in society, right? Whether it's economically, whether it's spiritual, whatever. I don't know what the definition is right now off the top of my head, but also the equal treatment of children is in there. And that's one of the biggest ones that I think that took me a while, right? Because there was a certain point in my life where I did not feel like I was the best parent that I could be. Like being a parent is stressful AF, especially when you're trying to be a really good one, right? And just because you don't hit your kids doesn't mean that you are not going to. I am sure I'm traumatizing my daughter in other ways that I don't think that I am, but I'm sure I am. But you can traumatize them with the words that you're using, right? And I was realizing that even though I was not hitting my kid, I was not using the best language. I was sarcastic a lot of times, like asking dumb questions like, is that what you want to wear? Like, why don't I just say why I don't think it works, right? Like, I thought I was helping her by trying to like, I'm like, well, I'm giving you the option, right? I'm not telling you like you're doing something wrong right away. I'm teaching. You can teach, but I guess kind of like what Spirit is saying, they can be a little bit of a of some sort of like love behind it, right? And I don't know if that needs to exist for the general public, but it definitely needs to exist for the child that I bore. Yes, definitely, and the one that I brought into the world, right? And I think that's one of my biggest things that when I would fall for people and want to be around them, is that they always made me feel like they were going to choose me and they were going to listen to me, which I guess I didn't feel like that when I was younger in my household. Now, I probably felt like that. Now, I don't know if I let people know that, but I probably was just leaking that information just from the way I was behaving, right? Because a lot of times I was around predators and I was around adults. So they should have known. And obviously I'm not going to talk about the ones who treated me well. You know what I mean? Like like it doesn't. But here's the thing. People treat you well for only a short amount of time, too. That's the other thing. Like, it doesn't last forever. But if you're a parent, it should. It should. You are entrusted with a human soul, and your job is to. This is, I think it's like I was trying to read a lot of parenting books. My job is to basically figure, help her figure out this life, right? And nitpicking at her and like being sarcastic when talking or whatnot is not going to help her, right? It's not going to help her. And it's odd because it's like there's people who love my relationship with my daughter, and then there's people who say odd things like, you and your daughter are like tied at the hip. You and your daughter are like tied at the hip. And I'm just like, what is she what is supposed to be the thing, right? 'Cause she's my only child. I don't have another one. And she's a girl. I guess I'm not really sure. But the thing is, I feel like she's not my daughter, that is. We are so different. So it really doesn't make any sense to me. But here's the thing. This is the thing about feeling things sometimes and not always hearing what someone is saying. Because there's people who have said it and they mean it in a good thing. They're like, oh, I just love it. Like, this is. Because I've seen people who are like, I want that. Like, if I'm going to have a kid, I want it to be like my mini me or whatever. She's not my mini me, but like the tied at the hip thing. We don't do a lot of things together. We used to when she was really little, and then she developed out of that. Like I remember I was at the doctor. I was at the doctor's office. And I was like, yeah, she's changed a lot. Like, I don't know what's going on. This is me, like, being stressful. I didn't realize that I was taking on too much. I was just like, well, why can't I? Why can't I? Other people can do it. Like, I don't know who I was comparing myself to. To be quite frankly honest, I don't know who I was comparing myself to. But anyways, I was at the doctor's office. I was talking to her, like, pediatrician or whatever. And I was like, and they were just asking me questions like, has her personality changed or whatever? And I was like, yeah. She used to want to go to every store with me. And now she just wants to stay at home. Like, sometimes she'll want to come, but sometimes she doesn't want to come. And he looked at me and he looked at her and she's like, yeah, sometimes I don't want to go everywhere that she goes. And he's like, maybe she's just growing out of it. It never occurred to me. It never occurred to me that she could just like feel so safe, or I have created, or this space that she's in is so comfortable for her that she feels okay being there without me. That never occurred to me until I was at that doctor's office, sitting there in front of that man. And I said, oh, okay. Now, did it take me a while? Yes. And then that was the other thing too, is like learning to detach. A lot of the when I would listen to these YouTubers talk about why it was important to treat children, regardless of their age, with self-respect, which again is not a crazy concept if you just sit there and you think about it, but apparently in society it is. They would talk about how like there's like different development for kids at different ages, and they understand different things, right? So if your kid is not understanding what it is that you're saying, it's probably the way that you're saying it. You need to figure it out, whatever. And that helped me so much. And the best thing about it is, as I was implementing these ideas or these theories, these hypotheses, or whatever you want to call them, my relationship with my daughter got better. It did. I don't have to hit her to get my point across to her. I don't have to yell at her to get my point across. I do lecture a lot. I feel like she tells me, she hates when I do that, but I gotta lay down the law somewhere, right? I'm friendly, but I'm not her friend. I'm her mother. She only gets one, and I want to do that job really well, And so when I have people around me who do not respect children and think that that's a far-fetched idea, or they've gone to college and they have whatever degree that they have, and also the fact that I share these things, because I share like what I know. I don't know if you're my Facebook friend and whatever. I always share these ideas, right? So it's like, if you have talked to me about how you've seen them and whatnot, and then when I want to talk to you about how I don't do that, you want to disagree, you and I cannot be friends. And then on top of that, you show up in my daughter's dream as a weird creature trying to coax her to you, dressed as me, and then you come out as yourself. Absolutely not. I gotta let you go as a friend, okay? And on top of that, it took you 6 months to figure that out, that I didn't want to be your friend. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying that because it takes me a while. But also, I'm not reaching back to you. And this is the thing that I tell people. If I don't reach back to you, within a certain time in any medium, that's when I don't want to be your friend. Also, I remove you. So it's like it shows to me that you think something about you is so special that I wouldn't treat you like how I treated the other people that I let go, that I told you about. That is crazy to me. That's wild. And I think the other one was it's just when you see how they treat their own children, and then you see how they don't care about, if they don't care about me, they're not going to care about my child. That's an African saying for sure. Never let someone who does not like you take care of your child, which is crazy because African women do it all the time with like the first wife, second wives, mistresses, whatever. It's odd. It's very odd. Or family members. Anyways, that's a story for somewhere else. And the other one was like I went to like a dinner, a girl dinner thing, right? And I went there with my daughter, and my daughter came and sat next to me, and for some reason one of the women felt the need to berate her because she out loud said that she wanted water, and my daughter didn't like get up to go get the water. And I looked around and I was like, oh, I wouldn't know you were talking to her. She's like, well, baby, the African girl. I was like, if you want something from her, you can ask her. She might get it for you. And my daughter's like, yeah, where's the water? Because here's the thing, that the African household, for some reason, you got to like belittle children. I have no idea why. I have no idea. Like, children are not your servant. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense for a child that has never been to this house to know where the water to go get. Like, what it sounds to me is you're messy. You're trying to create mess where it doesn't. You're trying to create friction where it doesn't belong, and I need to let you go. Okay. Also, I heard you talking shit about me about how I'm a college dropout, and you get your information because you got a diploma and a degree, not YouTube videos. Then why do I know more than you do? Why do I know more than you do? Okay, because I honestly don't even know what it is that you study. That's the thing. It's like I need it. It's like, and this is what I want to say is that you should not need that many evidence to let go of people from your life, right? And the other one big thing that I wanted to say that also Spirit told me, do not let this world separate you from your children and your divine plan of taking care of them and making sure this vessel does what it's supposed to come on earth to do, right? So that includes like institutions like school. I don't know what it is about the schools, but they are highly vested in you believing them over your children. Like, I felt like there was a time where they were constantly trying to get me to believe them over my child. I gave birth to this child. I've known her for a while now. I don't know you. Why? I said that to them. I was on the phone with one of them. I was like, I don't know you from Adam. That's exactly what I said. I was like, I don't know you from Adam. So your evidence of trust me, bro, doesn't make any sense. And then I had no idea that a lot of, like, because I was asking my child, I was like, so what happened to the other children? She said they got in trouble with their parents. Now, I don't know. My child probably did get in trouble. Maybe they wrote it somewhere in her file. But what I know is my child was not in trouble with me, and I told her she made the right decision. And I told the school, I do not raise my child to be bullied by anybody. And I raised her to stand up for bullies. If your school doesn't know how to do that, I will let her know to no longer do that, because you will not have her back as an institution. And he said, blah, 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 blah. But that's what I'm saying. Stand up for your children. That's what Spirit wants us to do. Stand up for your children against those who abuse you and against those who would abuse them in any way, or anyone who wants to belittle them. It's crazy. It's crazy. Showing up in people's dreams is crazy. trying to belittle my child in front of everybody. And the fact that nobody else said anything, I had to diffuse that energy. My child and I both had to. And then we talked about it driving home. Like, wasn't that weird? You bitches are weird. I love my kid. You should.